What if you have a good job, a decent income, and a dream of becoming financially independent? You might think you are on the right track to building wealth, but are you making some costly mistakes along the way? Warren Buffett, one of the richest and most successful investors in the world, has warned about some common money traps that can keep the middle class from achieving their financial goals. In this video, I will reveal 14 things that poor people waste money on, according to Warren Buffett's advice. 1. Owning a house. Rich and poor people have different approaches to buying a house. The rich usually don't hurry to buy a house when they are building their wealth. They prefer to rent a house while they save money and invest in other assets. The poor, however, often make a mistake by borrowing a lot of money to buy a house, which can hurt their financial situation. It's not wise to put all your money, savings, and debt in one asset. Also, owning a house can be costly because you have to pay for repairs and other expenses. Warren Buffett, a famous investor, advises against buying a house with a lot of debt because it can lead to financial problems. Having a home for your family is fine, but you have to be smart about how you buy it. Avoiding too much debt is essential to staying financially stable. 2. Credit card misuse. In today's world, we often use credit cards to buy things we want right away. But borrowing money with high interest rates, as Warren Buffett warns us, is not smart. Credit cards allow us to buy stuff without using our own money, but they often lead to impulsive purchases. When we pay the minimum monthly amount, most of it goes toward high interest charges, making us think we can afford more than we can. This means less money to save and invest in our future. While some credit cards offer rewards, Warren Buffett's advice is to be careful with high interest borrowing. Think twice before borrowing. Ask yourself if it really benefits you in the long run or just adds to interest costs. Be smart with your money. 3. Brand obsession. Some people believe that spending money on expensive brand name products will make them appear wealthy and successful, even if they are not. But rich people like Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, and Bill Gates have a different perspective. They also appreciate nice things, but they care more about getting value for their money. They understand that a famous brand name does not guarantee quality or usefulness. They choose things that are worth the money or serve a purpose. Rich people tend to focus more on saving and investing their money for the future. They may indulge in luxury occasionally, but they do not make it a habit to buy brand names. They prefer to put their money into things that increase in value, such as stocks, property, or businesses. Look for quality, not just a flashy name. 4. Impulse buys. Impulse buying is when you buy things without planning, driven by emotion or instant satisfaction. If you are part of the middle class, you might be exposed to a culture that promotes buying things. It happens in stores and online, often influenced by marketing tricks. To avoid it, pause before making non-essential purchases. Wealthy people focus on saving and investing for the long term, rather than impulse buying. They know that being careful with money is key to being financially successful. Some rich people also prefer to use cash or debit cards instead of credit cards, because it makes them more aware of their spending. 5. Smoking and vaping. Smoking and vaping are not only bad for your health, but they can also eat up a lot of your money. People who are poor spend more on smoking and vaping than others. Let me show you how. Suppose you vape a pot of e-liquid every day. That's about $150 a month. In a year, you'll spend $1,800 on vaping. If you keep this up for 10 years, that's a staggering $18,000. Just think about all the things you could do with that money, like investing in stocks, real estate, or even buying a new house. 6. Gadget upgrades. Keeping up with the latest technology and upgrading your gadgets and devices regularly may seem like a good idea. However, buying new gadgets every year can be very costly. You may be tempted by the new features and functions that the latest technology offers, but are they really worth it? Most of the time, the differences between the new and the old models are not very significant. You may not notice much improvement in the performance or the usability of your device, and you may end up paying a lot more for it. We'd often buy gadgets that we don't really need, such as smartwatches, wireless earbuds, robotic vacuums, and gaming consoles. These gadgets may be fun and convenient, but they are not essential. Before you buy a new gadget, think carefully about whether you need it or not. Chances are, you can do without it. Instead of spending money on frequent gadget upgrades, you could invest it in other areas that could generate potential returns. 7. Unnecessary subscriptions. Do you have any services or memberships that you pay for but don't use often, such as streaming apps, magazines, or gym memberships? These hidden subscriptions can drain your money and prevent you from achieving your financial goals, and you may not even notice it. A study from 2021 found that the average American spends about $348 every year on subscriptions they rarely use. That's like wasting money. Gym memberships are one of the biggest offenders here. On average, people spend $143 every year on gym memberships they don't use. So how can you avoid these money traps? First, check your bank and credit card statements regularly. Second, be careful of those free trial offers, because they can turn into paid subscriptions without your consent. By avoiding unnecessary subscriptions, you can save money and use it for things that are more important to you. It's a simple and smart way to manage your finances and keep more of your hard-earned cash. 8. Personal care products. Taking care of your skin is important, but sometimes we get carried away with using too many different products. You see, the beauty and skincare industry keeps coming up with new stuff all the time, and it's easy to want to try everything. But here's the thing, using lots of products together can actually make your skin worse. So the best idea is to keep it simple. Find a routine that works for your hair, face, and body and stick to it. You don't need to buy expensive stuff, just a few affordable products that you like. And when you feel tempted to add more products to your routine, ask yourself if it's really necessary or if you're just changing things for the sake of change. Sometimes less is more when it comes to taking care of your skin. 9. Eating out too often. It's good to have fun and go out with friends or your partner once in a while. It's nice to have a drink with friends or watch a movie with your loved one. But think about how much money you spend when you go out. Could that money be used for something else? I'm not saying you shouldn't go out and have fun, but you don't have to do it every weekend or every time you get paid. Some people like to go to expensive restaurants or post pictures of their lavish meals on social media to impress others. Going to restaurants every week can cost a lot of money. Cooking at home is not only cheaper, but also a chance to improve your culinary skills. When you eat out, you also spend money on things like parking, transportation, and alcohol. These costs can add up, and you might not even consider them when planning your meals at restaurants. 10. Lottery tickets and gambling. Many people wish they could become rich overnight by spending just a little money. This wish is a natural human desire for easy wealth. Lotteries and gambling offer the chance of a life-changing event that can be hard to resist, especially for those facing financial difficulties or feeling unhappy in their current situations. The occasional wins, even if small, provide a dopamine rush that keeps individuals coming back in the hopes of hitting a bigger jackpot. Unfortunately, the chances of winning in most gambling activities, including lotteries, are extremely low, making it a very poor way to invest one's money. While occasional entertainment through gambling may be relatively harmless for some, it's important to recognize the potential risks and consequences of falling into the trap of excessive gambling, including financial ruin, strained relationships, and addiction. 11. Buying new cars. Buying a brand new car might seem cool, but it's not a smart money move. Trust me, nothing you do in your life will waste more money than splurging on a new car. Here's why. As soon as you drive it off the lot, that shiny car starts losing value like a melting ice cream. In just 1 year, it can lose 20 to 30% of its value. And in 5 years, poof, it can lose at least 60% of what you paid for it. Imagine if you had a piggy bank and every time you drove, some money vanished. That's what happens with a new car. Here's the kicker. Many folks take out loans to buy new cars. But why borrow money for something that's instantly worth less? It's like borrowing cash and then flushing it down the toilet. Not smart, right? Now here's a bright idea. Instead of blowing a fortune on a new car, consider buying the used one. But not just any used car. Look for those that have only been driven for 2 to 3 years, like when someone returned it. These cars are almost as good as new, but you can get them for a lot less, about 30% off the brand new price. It's like buying the same car, but keeping more money in your wallet. To help you avoid the big money blunder, follow a simple rule. Don't spend more than 10% of your yearly income on a car. That way, you'll have a sweet ride without draining your bank account. 12. Spendings on social activities. Spending too much money on social activities and living beyond your means can be harmful to your financial health. You don't need to impress others with your lifestyle or possessions, like the Smiths. It's more important to focus on building financial security and saving for your future. Splurging on lavish vacations and gifts may make you feel happy in the moment, but it can also drain your savings. Also, trying to appear wealthy by spending excessively can actually put you in financial trouble. Instead, work on creating real wealth, not just a facade. Sometimes spending a lot on social things can give you a temporary boost of happiness, but it doesn't last. It can become a bad habit that is hard to break. To stay financially sound and avoid getting into debt, it's better to live within your means, which means spending only what you can afford. This way, you'll have money saved up for emergencies or exciting opportunities that come your way. 13. Drinks at bars. Many people spend a lot of money on going to clubs and bars each year, which can amount to thousands of dollars. When you go to a club, a single cocktail can cost you around $10 and sometimes even more. However, if you buy liquor from a liquor store, you can usually get a bottle for about $20. That's a lot cheaper, about 5 times less expensive than getting it at a club. Most people go to clubs because it's a fun place to dance and party with friends and meet new people, but there are many other ways to have fun and socialize without spending so much on drinks. If you want to have drinks with friends, you can consider having a picnic instead. It's a great way to enjoy time together without spending a fortune. You can buy your drinks at the store and have a fun and cheap outing at a park. It's a simple way to save money and still have a good time with friends. 14. Junk food. Some people think that poor people can't afford to buy healthy foods because they are too expensive. But if you look closely and compare the prices of fresh fruits and veggies to things like candy, soda, and pizza, you'll see that junk food can actually be more costly. Why? Because junk food doesn't fill you up as much as a bunch of grapes or a bowl of salad. Plus, when you eat junk food, your body doesn't feel good, and that's not worth the price. Some poor people might think that rich people always eat fancy stuff like caviar or dine in fancy restaurants, but the truth is most rich people like to eat healthy food at home. They buy fresh vegetables, fruits, and whole foods. So instead of spending almost $4 on a can of soda, you can pick up a bunch of bananas that only cost 58 cents per pound. It's a smart and healthy choice for your wallet and your well-being. Remember, the key to financial success is often found in the accumulation of small wise choices over time. By avoiding these money-wasting habits, you can pave a smoother path to financial prosperity. If this video has added some value to you, subscribe to our channel. Don't go away. If you want more financial freedom, don't miss to watch this video.